Welcome to the opening round of the 2018 ARR Craib MSA Scottish Rally Championship here at the Snowman Rally in Inverness.
The Snowman could be heralded as the start of a new era for the SRC, with one of the most open entries in years. The big question is, who's going to win? Well, let's have a look at some of the contenders. First of the Subarus, Sean Sinclair's installed 2017 champion Paul Beaton in the hot seat. They're joined by both Quinton and Freddie Milne, also in Impreza WRCs.
Yeah, just hoping to be brave and get lucky on the icy patches and finish, you know.
Next we have the Fords. There are Fiestas for 2016 Snowman winners Donnie McDonald and Andrew Faulkner, 17-year-old newcomer Lawrence White with Stuart Loudon navigating, and a very nervous Mark McCulloch, who has sorted a last-minute deal to drive a Buckley prepared R5.
I don't think two stages of anywhere will be the same. But listen, it's a Snowman. It's what we expect, isn't it?
We've got a lot to learn because I've never driven it, but I never thought this day would come, if I'm perfectly honest. So I'm just over the moon to even get the chance to drive one.
They're joined by both Andrew Gallagher and Ray Mackay in Focus WRCs. Mitsubishi has long been the most popular manufacturer in this series. The Snowman sees Mike Faulkner, Bruce McCombie and Stephen Clark all in Evos and all capable of challenging for the win. Or could it be the new car on the block, John Wink and John Forrest's Hyundai i20? Mealmore and Milbury would open the day, and it was a good start for the 2016 winners, McDonald and Faulkner setting two top three times to arrive at first service with a 2-second lead. Equal fastest on the opener, Andrew Gallagher and Jane Nichols slipped to 5th quickest in Milbury to lie second at first service. It was a good day to be a Ford driver. 2009 Snowman winner Ray Mackay grabbed an early third in the second focus, 4 seconds back from Gallagher. Breaking that Ford deadlock, Stephen Clark and Paul Gribben were flying in their older Evo, despite this overshoot. Fourth after 2 stages, they were only 2 seconds up on Wink and Forrest's Hyundai, the i20 benefiting from new development suspension recently fitted in Italy. Thirteenth in Mealmore, Quinton Milne and Sean Donnelly had Brian Watson's new Impreza on the boil in Milbury, taking 4th fastest to move them up to 6th.
Okay,
30 seconds.
Best of luck, mate.
Yeah, just feel your way in.
Don't really know what we're doing here, but
No.
we'll see.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Into crest.
It's a dream start for McCulloch and Hendry.
Left one in over crest and right 5, 80.
Despite the ice, they were equal fastest on the opener. However, SS2 and the hazards were on, a misfire robbing the car of most of its performance, dropping them to 7th at first service. 15th after SS1, Bruce McCombie and Michael Coots rediscovered their mojo in Milbury, 6th quickest, moving them up to 8th after 2 stages.
Left 9. 150.
Also in the move in Milbury, Dave Ross's dam was finally delivering on its potential. 9th after 2 stages, fingers were crossed it would last the day. Lying 10th was a blast from the past. Alan Dixon was making a comeback after 12 years away. In the ex-McCulloch Evo, Alan and Martin Forrest were showing impressive pace after such a long break. The first loop had already claimed some big names. Sinclair and Beaton were off in SS1 and out with mechanical problems at first service. Despite a puncture on SS1, Mike Faulkner and Peter Foy caught and passed the recovering Impreza. However, Milbury was to claim its first victim. Also out, the Evo 10 of Barry Groundwater and Neil Shanks called it a day after this overshoot landed them in a Milbury ditch.
It's a good rally, the stages are good, but as I said at the beginning, the Snowman stages are slippy, they're muddy, they're fast, they're everything, and that's exactly what it's been. It's just trying to pick the line through it and get the braking down at the really slippy stuff and get through it. And you know, first it's not so good for us because we're like fourth on the road. There's not many people having made mistakes, you know. There's nobody off, sort of thing, and you know, you've just got to get around it.
The first stage was we were going well, and then we started to hit some icy bits, so we kind of backed off in the first stage, but we must have clipped a rock and we got a puncture maybe a mile from the end or so. Second stage, never really got into that well. It was all straights with chicanes, straights, chicanes, and trying my best not to bounce the car off the bales, so just take my time through the chicane. So we'll see how it goes the rest of the day.
Out for the second loop, and Gallagher makes his move. Fastest in Bob Laney were backed by 2 top 4 times on 4 and 5, and suddenly the Focus had a 24-second lead, despite Andrew's best efforts at the end of Rogie. Save of the day. Behind the Focus there was a titanic 3-way battle for second. Quinton Milne had the place, but only by 3 seconds from Stephen Clark, who'd stormed to the fastest time in 4. The Evo in turn only had a second on McDonald and Faulkner, the Fiesta quickest in SS5. As the pace increased around them, Ray Mackay and Keir Beaton were now 5th in the red Focus, and only 2 seconds up on the I-20 of Winkin Forest, the Hyundai's second quickest in SS5. Up to 7th by second service, McCombie and Coots were another crew to flirt with disaster through Rogie.
Left 4, 40 through the gate. Right 3, could be slippy. Right 3 over the bridge. Whoa! Left 3 long, 100. It's icy, watch. Left 1, right 3.
Charging into 8th, Greg McKnight and Harry Marchbank were absolutely flying in their big-engined Escort. They were 3 seconds ahead of local man John Morrison's Evo 9. So what do you do when you've sold your Evo? Simple, you borrow your boss's. Ross MacDonald was out in Donnie McDonald's more powerful 9 and had slid into 9th spot after 5 stages, a 4th quickest time in Bob Blaney, the highlight of the day. Staying consistent, Dixon and Forrest continued their good run in 10th SRC spot. After an impressive run in the Dam, Dave Ross and Kyle McIntosh slipped off the road in Ben Wyvis. Dave, in his own words, ran out of talent.
With a couple of kind of high-speed offs in there, just one just as a flying finish at the kink there. We thought it was flat, but we ended up come over the crest and landed nearly off the road, so but we made it to the end.
It's anyone's rally. Me and Andrew went in first, some folk were sitting back. But with the snow, it could totally turn down. I think Andrew's first and I'm second. I really tried in the back half of that stage when we're coming out of the snow. I hope we're still around the top 3.
We put these kind of ice tyres on for those two, and well, 3 actually, and they were certainly the wrong tyre for the first one. But whether there was a safe option, that's what we were hoping for. We weren't looking for any more speed, we just wanted to be safe and get through it. So we've done that. One more stage to go now.
Before the final stage, a quick look at some other stories. Setting a fantastic 9th quickest on stage 1 despite the ice, it was an awesome start for Duncan MacDonald and Neil Ross in their Mark II. Unfortunately, they were soon out with major engine issues.
Aye. Yes, that's a shame.
Having a much better Mark II day, Paddy Munro pedalled his Pinto engine Escort to 17th overall from a start number of 52, bagging a John Horton Star Driver nomination along the way.
Right 2 continues over crest, tightened, keep in to long right 5. C100, don't cut.
Despite frantic efforts to cure the misfire, McCulloch and Hendry had the middle loop from hell. Not only was the engine sick, they then lost the power steering. Thankfully, the car was finally fixed at second service, and they were 5th quickest on the final stage. Definitely a case of what might have been. Tenth in the SRC at the finish, it was a solid comeback drive for Alan Dixon and Martin Forrest. Second man to earn a Star Drive nomination, Ross MacDonald and Matthew Johnson took their first ever SRC top 10 in 9th. Nine seconds up the road were John Morrison and Peter Kerstairs. Eighth in the SRC and 8th in the rally, it was a fantastic day out for McKnight and Marchbank. Top 2-wheel drive and a Star Drive nomination in the 2.5 litre Escort. Seventh at the end of a tough day was a solid result for McCombie and Coots. 18 seconds up the road, it was an ideal start to the season for Wink and Forrest, top challenger crew, and a couple of top 3 stage times showing the Hyundai's potential moving forward.
Yeah, it was an interesting day, Robert. We set out in the morning to try and do as best as we could, and as we always do, but we had a wee bit of an off-the-road incident on stage 1, lucky enough to get back on. And then stage 2, there seemed to be a bit more grip, so pushed on a bit in there and had a good time. And then the middle loop was very tricky with some snow on the higher ground. And then quite a good time on SS5 again with more grip, so car seems to be performing well when you've got the grip. So yeah, to get 6th overall, it's our best result to date in the SRC. So.
It was a disastrous final stage for Clark and Gribben. The stall on the start line set the tone, which was followed by the engine losing its edge midway through the test. Stephen suspecting a turbo issue, and it was another Snowman disappointment for Clark. 5th was a poor consolation prize for a fantastic drive. Inheriting 4th of the last stage, it was another good Snowman result for Ray Mackay in the Focus. In the right place to strike with Clark's problems, Donnie MacDonald and Andrew Faulkner stormed to 3rd over the final stage. The Inverness crew looking back on form in the Forests in 2018.
I would have taken it at the beginning, but to be honest, listen, there was more places to be had, to be honest. But 2 boys in front of us did exceptionally well, like in hard conditions. So I couldn't have given it any more in the last stage. And I think the more I pushed, the more the car seemed to be going sideways. And, I was like having a workout in the car, just trying my hardest to get it to go, and it just wasn't to be. But here.
Absolutely blitzing the final stage, Milton and Donnelly gave it everything over the 7 miles and very nearly snatched the win, failing by only 6 seconds to grab 1st place. Quinton very emotional at the finish, dedicating his performance to his late father, Donald.
It's been an emotional roller coaster of a day for me. I used to speak to my dad a lot between stages, and got 3 miles in the car on Thursday. Brian's car was great. I'm here thanks to Rig Deluge Road Racing once again, and all the great work they do for the raising awareness for charity and drive. So thank you, Ian. But yeah, learning the car all day, made a mistake on the first stage. Could have been anyone's rally. There's probably no harder rally in the season with changeable conditions, and we're getting quicker all day. And then I asked my dad to come for a run in the last stage, and we took a big chunk back there. But I couldn't probably ask for a better result for a car I've not used competitively before. So hopefully we'll be out again soon.
The last stage was just incredible. As Quinton said before we went in, it could have been anyone's. There was 3 seconds to 3rd place, and then a second to 4th place. So going into the last stage, it was going to be an interesting stage, and in places we thought we could have been quicker.
I thought we had a bad stage, but we took almost 20 seconds. Yeah,
and to win the stage, as Quinton said, he asked his dad to come for a run in the last stage. To win the stage obviously meant a lot for Quinton. Yeah.
Dropping 18 seconds over the final stage, Gallagher and Nicol were taking no chances after their SS5 escape. They almost backed off too much, but were able to secure a 1st SRC win. Andrew, following in his father's footsteps, drew a twice Snowman winner in the 1970s.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's good to win the opening round anyway. Just obviously want to say a big thanks to Tom Blackwood and the Cobble Shop. Wouldn't be here without them, and obviously all the marshals and everybody else that's made it happen. it just shows you how strong those cars are. I mean, when we landed in there was a few big rocks, and I actually couldn't believe it still had wheels left in it.
And with a rally in history, obviously, it's really good to see a Gallagher on the Winners' Cup again.
Aye, that's it. Aye, at least I've got a win. It took me a couple of years, but
Just a few.
got it there in the end.
So Gallagher takes a historic Snowman win, and the SRC is looking as open as it has ever been. Who will take the win at the Border Counties in March?